Hey guys, and welcome to the third part of our Falling Skies tutorial. In this tutorial, we will be creating multiple enemies and this life counter. I've already coded it out since there was a lot of code changing that was supposed to be done. So, I just thought that I would code it out and then show it to you because it will be like a lot of struggling around and messing around with the different aspects of the code. I initially thought that it would be quite easy, but it ended up being quite hard, and I had to, copy paste code from various GitHub repositories and stuff like that. So there was a lot of Stack Overflow and stuff involved. So I just cut it out of the video, and I'm just gonna show you the actual code so you guys can then just copy it down, and I will go and explain you all of the code, but so like the life counter was pretty easy to implement, but I just kind of went with the flow and got it all done. So yeah, whatever. So I'm just gonna show you the code, and you can just easily follow along. It's not that complicated when you look at it, but it like when you actually try to code it out for the first time, like it's kind of complicated to get done. So yeah, whatever. So we this part we aren't changing. I just created another import of sys. We will need it, so just import it up top over here. Next, I just initialize the just the basic game variables. Then we are just initializing pygame, creating the screen. All of this is just the same thing. Making the player. Here what I've done is I just set this thing called player lives. I just for testing purposes kept it as 1. You can just make it 3. So I have set the player lives equal to 3. Then all I've done is making the enemy. Now this is where the code is actually changed. So as you can see over here, instead of our normal way where I just gone enemy image and enemy x, enemy y appends, I've gone and created these lists called enemy image, enemy x, enemy y, enemy exchange. Actually, I don't need enemy exchange. Just get rid of it. Enemy y change and number of enemies. Next, all I did is I looped over the number of enemies, so in this case 6 times, and I appended these images and these positions to our list. So now we would have a list full of the images and positions. Next, all I did was I went to the blitting of the enemies function, and we just added an index parameter, and we blit the enemy at that index. So we would blit every single index of the enemy individually on the screen instead of simultaneously blitting all of them together, because that would mean that the enemies would be blit on top of each other instead of besides each other or at random positions, which was what we actually wanted, and that would like fail us from achieving our goal, which we didn't want. Now the collision logic was the same. That didn't change. Next was our game loop. This stuff was the same again, nothing different. Then this stuff was also the same. Now this is where the actual some of the logic came into place. As you can see, it's kind of it's a little bit untidy code. It's not that great looking, but I really couldn't be bothered to refactor and clean up the code. So yeah, now what I did was I went to the update the screen where we are done. I had also bred the player and was continuously changing the enemy's y coordinates. I just got rid of those two lines, and I actually had to put it over here where we I call the do the all of the enemy movements. Actually, this is supposed to be called enemy logic. All of our enemy stuff goes in here. So what I do again is I just loop it over, and we are changing the y, and what I do is this is just the border checking of the enemy, but we just add the index parameter to it, and we again need to just add this one line of changing the y coordinate of the enemy. We need to do it. Next comes the collision logic, which was pretty straightforward, or like the same thing. All we needed to do is just add the index, but I actually had to change a little bit of it. So here when we say is collision, what I've done is I says that if there's a collision and the player lives is less than 1, 1 is greater than it, then we just say time dot sleep this, and we just go sys dot exit. But if the actually this should be elif, but we can just keep it as if it's not really much of a big deal. If the collision and the player lives is greater than 0, we just reduce the player lives by 1, and we can just reset that singular enemy that had hit the player back to the top, and we can just print the player lives. We will actually later on create the fonts also. Currently I've just gone with text based player live printing, but in the some of the later tutorials we will also create the font for the player lives. And then over here all I've done is I've just split the enemy again. Like when I say again, I mean which I had done over here. I just did it over here. So now it's actually time to see where we stand, how much I managed to, what this all of this code does, because I think that's what you would want to know. Now I have reduced these speeds. Uh, they are actually increased when I am not recording. They are very very fast, so that's why I have to reduce those speeds. So that's why these things are super slow right now. So as you can see, these uh, lines spawn at a different position. So I'm just gonna collide with some of these. Let's just collide with this guy. Come on. Okay, I think I should increase my player speed because I'm just. So as you can see, even the heights are different, which is what we are aiming to get done. And as you can see, it says that we have 2 lives, and we get 1 line that is spawning before. That's because he was respawned. So now I'm just gonna collide with this guy. Come on. We now only have a singular life. Now if we die, we have 0 lives and we lose. So now again, if I just collide, let's see if this works, please. Alright, okay, why didn't that work? Oops, oh, okay, I just got my mistake. This is supposed to be less than or equal to 1. Now I'm just gonna reduce my player lives to 2. Alright, let's just run it now. I'm pretty sure it will work, but let's just run it. So now let's just collide with this lion. We have a singular life now. And come on, let's again collide with him. You can obviously have some different collision logic. I wanted to keep it like that. There we go, it works. You can have some different collision logic in here. The reason why I went with this is because I'm not that creative enough to actually come up with some really original game idea. So that's why I just use this. You can obviously come up with some actual collision logic. You can comment down below if you don't know how to implement it. I will try my best to implement it and provide you with the code, but if it's too ambitious, even I can't promise. So yeah, whatever. So as you can see, we got this much out of our way. So now what we can also do is create a score counter, and what we will have are like, as soon as the enemy falls down, the score should increase. So let's just go down. Let's also get the score counter done today. Again, it will be text based, but we will add the fonts for it later on. So the player score will obviously be set to 0. Now I'll just copy that, and we will go down, and over here where we are saying that if the enemy has reached the bottom of the screen, we just say player score plus equals to 1. You could go 100 or whatever you want to go with, and we can just go and say print player score. Pretty basic stuff. I don't even need to test this. I know it's working. That's just 3 lines of code. If you want to test, or you know what, let me just test it out just to see, and if it isn't working then try to figure it out. Let's just get this thing. Alright, and the cool thing with this game is that since we are not spawning 1 but we are spawning 6, this game is difficult, but since we are spawning only 6, it's not impossible. So even that's kind of cool. So as you can see, we get our score is 6 over here, and now it should and now let's also add one more piece of logic. Instead of just uh, subtracting our life, we should also subtract our player score when we collide with a person and lives are still not 0. We can just say player underscore score minus equals to 2. 2 or 3, you can obviously make it 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever you want. You can also create like a special enemy, and if you collide with him, then your player score goes down by 100 or something like that. It's up to you. I am leaving you with complete freedom for the player life, and like you could have some extra lives that fall out of the sky that increases your player lives. For example, if you just have one, if you just have two, you know what I mean. So let's actually let me just have a check on the recording, and you know what, I'm gonna keep this video kind of short. I'm gonna end it at this time. I will have all of this code either as my pinned comment or in the description box. uh, Again, as I told you, I don't want to change my GitHub repository because a lot of people just take my code, and like I don't mind you taking my code, but I want you to follow along with this tutorial, so that's why I will just give you all of this code or in my pinned comment, so nobody at least just goes on my GitHub and takes it on. They will at least have to click on the video. So yeah, whatever. So that's it for today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe, and I'm hoping that you're liking this game. So yeah, I also have created like a couple of fun projects alongside with this game. I'm hoping I will make a video of them also very soon. It's involved with neural networks. It's like an encouraging bot that will first check if you are discouraged, and if you are discouraged, then it will pull out a code from a API and it will just give you that code. Pretty cool. Whatever. So that's it for today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in another YouTube video.